Okay, this is going to be a quick reading on the energy between Coi Leray and Nicki Minaj. It's just because I want to know what is going on with Coi Leray. Why is it every time she's coming on here to kind of like on Twitter to come and just like subtweet Nicki or try to get a reaction out of her or just get her mentions hot with the words each time? Because ever since the Blick Blick collaboration and her feeling like Nicki kind of like ruined the rollout in some way when she dropped her song after it, I think it was We Go Up, she felt a certain type of way. And then it was confirmed that she wasn't the one who wrote this. And we know how Nicki is, like big on, like female rappers just, basically rising their crafts and, strengthening their pen game and whatnot. So I'm just trying to know, why is Coi Leray so salty towards Nicki Minaj? What is going on with Coi Leray and Nicki Minaj? How does Coi Leray feel about Nicki Minaj? She's just doing all this petty stuff, all this back and forth. Like one day she is kind of praising her, and the next day she's just doing all this stuff. Just like her latest tweet. Let me go look it up again because this girl is acting real. Just I don't know how to even kind of like mention this. Like I even got her blocked because she does the most. I think she deleted this, but no, she didn't. Okay, she said, "LMAO, crazy how everybody who shared on TikTok back then is eating it up now, and so many laughing emojis, and then her typing out like, oh, I'm sorry." And then her typing like, oh, at the end. It's funny because like her mentions are flaming right now, but she is not deleting that. And I just find it really kind of like hilarious because like she is a TikTok artist regardless. Like she's been blown up, I think ever since Musically or whatever, but like on TikTok a lot, and she makes music for TikTok. But it's crazy because why are you even doing this? Like her mentions are flaming hot with the bros right now. Like swarm with them. Like oh my god, people are getting her. Like the comments are crazy. But hold on, let me just like get her picture to see. Okay, so what is Coi Leray's energy towards Nicki? Okay, cards are flying. So she's like okay, she definitely does see her as like someone who is kind of like a B word, but like her feelings towards her, they're like real feelings of just yeah, there's lots of like imbalance in here, like just indecisiveness because she doesn't know how to feel about this. But what I'm sensing strongly is yeah, she's really like bored with this and like with the antics. Like she wanna kind of like come at her, but at the same time she's like I don't have any good reason for this, but let's see. Yeah, she's just still stuck on the past. Why is Coi Leray doing this with Nicki Minaj? Why is she coming at Nicki Minaj? Why is Coi Leray coming at Nicki Minaj? Let's see. We have it on for here. Why is Coi Leray coming at Nicki Minaj? Why is Coi Leray coming at Nicki Minaj? Okay, so, yeah. So, there's definitely the fact that, she knows that by coming at her or just doing stuff like this, you can definitely make the money out of it, and you can definitely expand your horizon. And you can definitely kind of like live in that kind of like lavish moment of the I'd say in the lavish like cozy kind of like luxurious moment of just beefing with Nicki, and like she's waiting for her to say something, like she's waiting on Nicki to say something, but Nicki isn't saying anything. Like she's just letting her talk and just like letting her do her, because Nicki is just like she's busy doing something. And it's crazy because Corey is kind of like looking at Nicki's achievements and wanting the same thing, but she is choosing the wrong approach to this. She's choosing the wrong approach to this. And there's also somebody in her ear about this, a male who is an air sign who is in her ear about this. She's choosing like, you got the wrong one is what I'm hearing, like what I'm hearing Nicki say. Like she's still salty about an offer she offered Nicki an opportunity that Nicki kind of like turned down or quietly turned down, like didn't do like the most about it, or just like didn't pay attention to. It's kind of like messed her up, really. And then she's kind of like, okay, so I was with her and everything, but it didn't benefit me as much. So what if I go against her? What if I follow the agenda of other people and actually like go against her and use that to strengthen my achievements or strengthen everything that I might fall behind for, or kind of like just fall onto, kind of. But this is going to benefit her. This isn't going to benefit her for the long run. It's just going to make her look crazy and make her look like, she's being extra paranoid and beefing with somebody who isn't talking to her. And as for her feelings towards Nicki, as I said, she doesn't see her as a friend. She does see her as, like a friend, and we're just like acquaintance in the game. It's crazy because like she was really inspired by her, and she even got like I think a Barbie tattoo when Nicki accepted her feature on Blick Blick, I think. And yeah, she sees her as, like she kind of like, okay, she worked with me and everything, but didn't give me the time of the day. Kind of like she excluded me from everything that she's been doing. Like she didn't give like the song her props, its props. I'm sorry, and just went away and neglected and went away like to her stuff and her duties or just like everything else. And there is something here that has happened in that area that is kind of like still stuck in her head. See? Stuck in her head about all this, and it's kind of funny because after all this took place, they kind of drifted apart. But we can clearly see who is salty about this right now. Okay, we also have this, which shows the fact that it's crazy because like, why is you doing this? It shows like that there is a lot of like imbalance in Coi Leray's life. Regardless, she sees Nicki as someone who is obsessed with wealth and obsessed with status, and she sees her as basically someone who is like, if you're not of like my caliber or like my standards, I'm not going to give you the time of the day, or like I'm not going to benefit you. Which is insane because like she can't collaborate with anybody. I think like she does. Like if the song speaks out to her, I'm hearing Nicki Minaj saying, if the song spoke out to me, then I would do it. Yeah, she's still stuck on like everything that she thinks Nicki did to her. Let's see what has happened between Nicki Minaj and Coi Leray. What's happened between them? See, so okay, so Coi is more of like the more sensitive girl in here, and Nicki is kind of like toughen up. You gotta toughen up, like what I'm saying. You gotta be tough. There's like no, like they won't benefit you, like being this, like softy and whatever. It won't benefit you for the longer run. Like you need to be tough. You need to be blunt. You need to be harsh. It's something that has happened that kind of like made stuff shift for the both of them, and made, well, mostly from Coi's end, it's made her look at Nicki like differently. She's definitely like stalking her, even though like Nicki is not literally not communicating with her and literally not paying her any mind and just looking at the other side. See, like Nicki's looking at the other side, and Coi's like just following the steps of Nicki everywhere because she thinks that doing this and everything is going to make her feel better. It's going to help her just like, make her feel the same way that Nicki made her feel, but it's only going to hurt her. Because, like once Nicki is going to have enough, she's going to have enough, and she's going to say something. If she decides to say something, that's going to even like hurt her even more and hurt her feelings even more. So I don't think that this is a wise I don't think this is a wise move for her. Let's see. How does Nicki Minaj feel about Coi Leray doing all this? It's like she's feeling so intimidated and insecure by Nicki, but it's like, why are you kind of like pitting yourself against her? See, she sees her as a competition, and she does not. Like, she doesn't want to back down. It's kind of like somebody really kind of like recharged her or like charged her mind against Nicki, and she's like just following blindly. And it's like she's just stuck there. Like she doesn't know whether to move on or just like actually just like go at it with Nicki. Like if she had the chance to, she would literally like go at it with her. Like that's what she wants to do. but she knows. Like this is, yeah, she doesn't have any good intentions with this. She just wants to cause a lots of mess. It's crazy because she does want to cause lots of mess, a lots of confusion and like chaos. Like she's so confused. She wants to cause much more like chaos and just mess, and there is no good intention with this. She's still confused and messy and just sad and hurts and bitter and angry and petty over how like everything has happened like after the collaboration took place. And like if she's going to do this, like yeah, if she's going to do this, it's not going to be good for her. Like it's going to make her just feel even more disappointed and ashamed. And it's like it's gonna serve her right because she needs to learn how to be better for herself. She's still stuck on like the past and the unfinished just like feelings and business that is like still kind of like dragging her down. And like Nicki not responding to her is making her even more mad. There's like such a malicious energy and dark energy when it comes to her intentions with this. It's crazy. Yeah. And she still wants to work with Nicki. She still wants to work with her after this. But let's see. How does Nicki Minaj feel about Coi Leray? How does Nicki Minaj feel about Coi Leray doing all this? Yeah, Nicki is very disappointed. She's not happy with this. But, she's avoiding this. Like, she can feel the tension. She can, like, she knows what is going on. She sees that. She knows it all. But at the same time, she's like, she is seeing the opportunity and she's trying to make this for herself. Like, to create this fight and everything, this hype around her, to use me for clouds and to use me, for something in her plan and whatever she has set for herself. And she's watching her too. She's watching her. She's not pleased with this. Like, why are you doing this? Like, I'm not saying anything. I'm not doing anything. And Nicki is kind of like holding herself back from answering because she's trying to move forward here and like, like she's kind of like holding in her horses because she doesn't want to give this like much more cloud than it's already like picking up on, because she's like, I don't want to benefit you. It's kind of like the energy where Megan was like, if I'm not getting paid out of this, I'm not going to answer you. And Nicki's like, I'm not going to talk to you right now, even if you're just gonna act crazy. But she definitely does see whatever she's whatever Coi is saying, and she's trying to hold her tongue, but all the time she's not gonna answer her. To her, it's like this is a dead issue. She's walking away from this. Like, she doesn't care. She's not going to talk to her, and she sees the tension, and she knows the cause behind this, and she's not rocking with this, and she is bored with this. And she's like, give it up. Just like give it up already. It's boring. Give it up. Yeah, she's staying quiet. She knows how strategic this is, and she's seeing all this, and she's just disappointed and just hurt over this. But not as strongly, but definitely just like being in her energy, just like, don't talk to me, like, do not address me, and I'm not going to address you. So yeah, let's see. It's like crazy because when are you deciding to just do this? It's just like another Lotto situation, because like you got her tattooed on you like the day it got, like the collaboration got out, but like now you're just doing all this because you're, like in that type of like having hidden agenda against her basically, and just doing this. Yeah, okay, let's see. What is going to happen between Nicki Minaj and Coi Leray? It's like, Nicki's like, what are you just so fidgety? Why aren't you just like calm about this? Why are you just doing this? She's like, this is so one-sided. Nicki sees this stuff as like, this is one-sided as hell. I'm not going to entertain this or just like give it my energy. So let's see. Yeah, it's she's like, I'm not going to give you charity, because she sees this stuff as like charity work. I'm not going to give you like a charity. I'm not letting you kind of like feed off of my name. She's like, I know you see all those opportunities and everything, but I've learned the lesson. I mean, I can't just keep beefing with like kids kind of like, half my age or whatever, but there is definitely like disappointments in here. Heavy disappointments and heavy just like jealousy and insecurity, and just, like one person is very much narrow-minded, and she's like, why are you doing this? Why are you beating yourself up for this? What is going to happen between Nicki Minaj and Coi Leray? Eventually, they're either going to hash it out, or Nicki is not going to respond. She's not going to respond, or she's going to throw like a simple word or anything that's going to make the other girl just like feel super ashamed and just like, what am I doing? You know, she's like hoping that this is going to, like escalate with Nicki and everything, or hoping that, she's gonna reach out or something. But this is just foolishness, because one is focusing on her growth and the other one is just passive aggressive about everything and just wanting to kind of like come at her with like something that is so old. But she's not going to communicate with it. Like, there's lots of pettiness and jealousy, and just somebody that is a gossiper here, or kind of like just, kind of like makes news like fly out between them. Yeah, and just being bitchy about it. Basically, she knows that this is beneficial for one of them, but not to the both. Because if Nicki, like answers back, then it's gonna be like, oh, she's beefing with people like younger than her because she's jealous or whatever. But yeah, there is kind of like that feeling of just like being defeated and not getting what you want and just walking away from this because you're just being delusional and just more mess and just more hidden agendas and more insecurities and sadness and just feeling like I'm not getting like the ultimate goals I wanted, and indecisive and just being left alone and just being left out in the cold and nobody's talking back to you or just like not answering you and you just being looked at crazily. So yeah, it's not going to end the way Coi wanted it to end. So there is that. So yeah, that's what is going on. That is the tea on what is going on with Coi Leray and Nicki Minaj. I just think it's foolish and stupid and just really childish, because you're the one who is going to hurt her career and herself over nothing, to be honest. Like, she gave you a feature and she like helped you and gave it its hype and everything, and it's one of her like best verses last year. It was one of her best verses actually. So like, what else do you want? She's like, what else do you want? Like, I did everything, like she did the rollout that she does for like a normal songs, and then she just lets it go. Like, whatever it's done, it's done. So I don't really know like what the girl is expecting. Like, was she expecting Nicki to stop her career for this feature, or just give it more than it's right? Like, it is your feature, you're the one who's supposed to like carry it. Like, it is your song basically, not hers. She was just the feature. So yeah, this is the Coi Leray and Nicki Minaj again, and I hope it was enjoyed, and until the next one, like, comment, and subscribe if you want to.